So I remember years ago, I think I've always been depressed since I was a kid and had depression and anxiety and everything else since I was probably in my teens. But I've never identified it and I've never spoke about it. So I went through life just thinking this is how you are, kind of thing. I never spoke to my mum and dad about my mum and dad, and they would listen, but they kind of had that old approach. You don't open up and you don't go to the doctors and say about mental health because they'll put you on tablets, and that was that kind of attitude then. So I just went through life just struggling with different things, and then I had my first son, George, who's 14 now, and I went on a course in work for mental health first aid awareness, and they started talking about stuff, and I was sitting there thinking, shit, that's me, Like, they were saying this happens, and people do this, and people think that, and I'm like, that's me. Am I not normal then? Is that like, am I just like part of all this? Is this me? And then I was looking at my son and I thought, like, 'cause he was only a baby, and I was like, I'm going to start projecting my stuff onto you, and you're going to have that kind of, that, what's it called, the speaking down thing, where, generational down thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I just went to doctors and said, listen, I've got this happens, this what I think, this blah, 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 blah. And she went, you've got generalised anxiety. She literally turned around, she went, you've got generalised anxiety disorder straight away. Let's get you some CBT therapy. I was like, sounds okay. So I done the therapy, learned a bit more about it, got accepting of what I had, and just kind of carried on. And then it was a few years ago, I was working for a company and I was really badly treated. I've got to be careful how much I say because, yeah. But I'm just going to say it. They suspended me for 7 months in work, and they put accusations to me, and I'd bat them away. And then another accusation would come, then another one, then another one. And then I found out, after all this happened, I found out by the person who was doing the investigation, she was told just to find anything on me. Just find something. And they couldn't find anything, because kept batting it away. But during that time, it was 2020, just as lockdown was happening, I was suspended and all this was going on. My son was just turning 1. So, sorry, it was 2021. My son just turned 1. They suspended me on my son's first birthday. They brought me in the office knowing I was going back to his party. Brought me in, said, you're suspended. So I went home, I had a big breakdown, everything bottled up inside. And then I turned into not me. I wasn't me anymore. And my wife was sitting there watching me, and I wouldn't get out of bed, I wouldn't get washed, I wouldn't get dressed, I'd just be lying on the couch waiting to hear something. And I was not engaged. I had 3 children at the time. I was not engaged with one of them, the baby being 1 year old, just come out of lockdown. And it just went on and on and on for like 6-7 months. It got to the point then, I was accused of some really horrendous things. I was actually accused because some people who I worked with had an agenda out for me. They made accusations that I sexually assaulted a person, and the person I was meant to have sexually assaulted was a friend of mine, and what actually happened, she went and had an abortion, and she came and spoke to me. The only people who knew was her partner and me, and she came and spoke to me, and she was having a breakdown. I was supporting her through it, and because she walked out of my office one day crying, that automatically meant that I sexually assaulted her, and that's what someone put an accusation in about. And when she found out the person, she was furious, and it was like, no, that's not what happens and all that. But obviously they go through them processes and they don't take anything into account before they have the process. And if they're looking for something on you, they're looking for something on you.